I just landed in one of the most jaw-dropping cities on the planet. I'm Sidney, the 360 Nomad, recently retired, and now I am out here traveling the entire world with my 360 camera, capturing everything so you feel like you're actually there with me. And today, we're spending 3 days in Abu Dhabi for the very first time. Let's go. Our first stop is the Corniche, this iconic waterfront promenade that stretches over 8 kilometers along the Arabian Gulf. The views are absolutely insane. Look at this, fish market dinner. Okay, so after soaking in those Corniche views, we needed food, and not just any food. We went to the fish market and listen, I was not prepared for how good this was going to be. Here's how it works. You literally walk up to fresh fish laid out on ice, you pick what you want, you tell them how you want it cooked, and they make it right there. Like, I picked out a whole snapper, some jumbo shrimp, and these incredible prawns, and 20 minutes later it's on my plate perfectly grilled with rice and this spiced tomato sauce that I am still thinking about. The fish market is actually part of the Heritage Village area. It's been feeding Abu Dhabi locals for generations. Abu Dhabi sits on a natural island and has been a fishing community since the 1700s, so eating fresh seafood here isn't just dinner, it's living history. Honestly, one of the best meals I've had on this entire trip, and that's saying something. Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. Alright, day 2, and I saved the most spectacular thing in the entire city for the morning, the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. Okay, before I even get into what this place looks like, because trust me, the visuals are doing a lot of heavy lifting right now, let me just give you some context so you actually understand the scale of what you're looking at. This mosque is named after Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the United Arab Emirates. He's basically the guy who took what was a small collection of desert tribes and fishing villages and turned it into one of the wealthiest nations on earth. He passed away in 2004, and he's actually buried on the grounds of this mosque. So this isn't just a building, it's a monument to an entire nation's identity. Construction started in 1996 and took over 12 years to complete. It opened in 2007, and they did not cut a single corner. They brought in craftsmen and materials from all over the world, marble from Italy and Greece, chandeliers from Germany, carpets hand-woven in Iran, and gold and semi-precious stones sourced from countries across Europe and Asia. Now let's talk numbers because they're wild. The mosque can hold over 40,000 worshipers at one time, 40,000 people, inside one building. There are 82 domes on this structure, 82. The main prayer hall has the world's largest hand-knotted carpet. That carpet alone took over 1,000 artisans 2 years to make, and it weighs about 47 tons. 47 tons of carpet, y'all. The main chandelier in the prayer hall is also one of the largest in the world. It's 10 meters in diameter and is decorated with Swarovski crystals and 24-karat gold plating. You look up and you genuinely feel like you're standing inside a jewelry box. The exterior, okay, look at your screen right now. Look at it. The whole thing is clad in pure white marble. And what they do at night, and I am so glad I came back after sunset, is they light the mosque based on the phases of the moon. There are fiber optic lights embedded in the exterior that shift color in sync with the lunar cycle. Like it literally glows differently depending on the night. How is that even real? The reflecting pools around the mosque mirror the entire structure, and when the light hits it just right, it looks like the building is floating. I'm shooting this in 360, so if you're watching in VR right now, I genuinely envy you. This is the kind of place 360 video was made for. Now, visiting tips, because I want you to actually be able to experience this and not get turned away at the gate. First, it's free to visit. Free. One of the most beautiful buildings in the world, and it costs you nothing to walk in. Second, dress code is strict and non-negotiable. Shoulders and knees must be covered for everyone, and women will need to cover their hair inside the mosque. If you forget, they do have abayas and robes available to borrow at the entrance. Third, it's open to non-Muslim visitors outside of prayer times, so check the schedule before you go. Friday mornings are reserved for worshipers only. The best time to visit, and I cannot stress this enough, is either early morning right when it opens or about an hour before sunset so you can catch both the golden hour light and the evening illumination. I did both, zero regrets. I have to be honest with you, I visited a lot of incredible places on this journey. I've been blown away before, but standing inside that main prayer hall, looking up at that chandelier, surrounded by the silence and the cool air and the sound of prayers in the background, something hit me differently here. There's a reverence to this place that just settles over you. Whatever you think you know about Abu Dhabi, whatever image you have in your head, the Grand Mosque will completely reset it. This alone is worth the flight, no question. UAE Presidential Palace, Qasr Al Watan. From the mosque, we headed to something I genuinely didn't know was open to the public until I started planning this trip. The UAE Presidential Palace, also known as Qasr Al Watan, which translates to Palace of the Nation. I want to be clear about what this is. This is not a historical palace, not a museum built to look like a palace. This is the actual active seat of government for the United Arab Emirates. The president of the UAE still uses this building for official state functions. You're walking through a working palace and they let tourists in, still wrapping my head around that one. The palace was completed in 2017 and opened to visitors in 2019. And the architecture, it draws from the Arabian Peninsula's classical Islamic design tradition. You've got this massive central dome, intricate geometric stonework, archways that seem to go on forever. It's grand in the truest sense of the word. The Great Hall is where visiting heads of state are received. When you walk in, the ceiling above you is a cascade of handcrafted gold details and patterned arches. The floor is polished to a mirror finish. Everything about it is designed to communicate permanence, power, and pride. One of the coolest parts of the visit is the House of Knowledge, this incredible library inside the palace that's filled with rare books, manuscripts, and artifacts from across the Arab world and beyond. There's a collection of historical maps of the Arabian Peninsula in there that go back centuries. You can trace how different European cartographers imagined the region across time. It's genuinely fascinating. They also have a regular light show called Palace in Motion, which I want you to imagine as a full-scale projection mapping event on the exterior of an actual presidential palace. They project animated patterns, geometric designs, and historical imagery across the entire facade. I watched it with my jaw on the floor. The 360 camera absolutely loved this. Some quick facts to put this place in perspective. The palace complex covers over 150 hectares. The dome of the main building rises about 60 meters above the ground. Over 400 different types of stone and marble were used in the construction, sourced from more than 30 countries. The brass and gold detailing across the palace would take you days to fully look at. The UAE itself is a federation of 7 emirates: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah, and Fujairah, and Abu Dhabi is the capital. Abu Dhabi Emirate also holds about 90% of the UAE's oil reserves and about 6% of the entire world's known oil supply. So when you're looking at the scale of spending that went into places like this palace and the Grand Mosque, that's the context. Visiting is straightforward. Tickets are required. Smart or formal casual dress code applies, and it's generally open daily. I'd budget 2 to 3 hours here minimum because there's genuinely a lot to explore and you're going to want to take your time. If the Grand Mosque gave me spiritual goosebumps, Qasr Al Watan gave me the where am I right now goosebumps. Two completely different feelings, both unforgettable. Etihad Towers, right near the palace, you literally cannot miss them, are the Etihad Towers. 5 towers of steel and glass shooting straight up into the Abu Dhabi skyline. There's an observation deck on the 74th floor with 360-degree views of the city and the Gulf. As a 360 nomad, obviously I had to get up there. Obviously. Staying on Al Reem Island was honestly one of the best decisions of this trip. It's a modern, upscale island community just off the main island of Abu Dhabi, connected by bridge, but with its own vibe. The views from our Airbnb, stunning doesn't even cover it. Dinner at Al Reem waterfront, and for our final night, we ended exactly where you'd want to end a trip like this. Dinner on the Al Reem Island waterfront with the entire Abu Dhabi skyline lit up across the water in front of us. Warm evening air, good food, city glittering on the horizon. I just sat there thinking, yeah, I needed to come here. This city earned every bit of the hype. Abu Dhabi, I came in with high expectations, and this city somehow still found a way to exceed every single one of them. The Grand Mosque alone would make this trip worth it. But add the presidential palace, the waterfront, the food, the culture. This is a world-class destination that I think is still massively underrated. If you haven't been, go. Put it on the list. Move it to the top. If you got something out of this video, hit that like button and subscribe to join me on the next adventure. I'm out here with my 360 camera and I am just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.